of marrow, but nothing for the afternoon edition. Their shift ended at midnight, and when we got back in the Ford to head for HQ, Wilson drove us along Mounts Bay Road, threading its riverside curves 20 k's above the speed limit. We stopped under the lee of the CBD's buildings, where there was a clean, fluorescent place serving hot drinks and hot dogs. Lovestone ordered 3 of them, coffee for Wilson and me, and a tea for himself. Everything served in polystyrene that squeaked as we ate. "What I wouldn't give for a murder," Lovestone said, and tapped the notepad I'd placed on our table. "That's off the record." "No such thing," I said, remembering one of Holt's dictums. "Your taxes pay their wages. Everything's fair game." Lovestone frowned, concentrated on his hot dog, and devoured it in 3 efficient bites. Like me, he had the appetite of a man who worked through his lunch breaks. He belched into his hand and said, "How did you get the police round, son?" Light tone, listening eyes, while Wilson glowered at me over his coffee. Good cop, bad cop, never off the clock. "Been with the paper a few years, had an interest." "Yeah, that's not good enough." "Where you from?" How easy it would be to be able to say Joondalup, Warwick, Greenwood, some bland Perth suburb up the freeway they could roll their eyes at and tell a drug story from. "Wheatbelt," I said, keeping it vague. "Up the Midwest." "Wheat and sheep?" Lovestone said, stirring sugar into his tea. I nodded. "Tough line of work, that." I nodded again. "You going back for harvest?" "Got cousins in Bruce Rock. Time of year for it." I should have been able to say, "when I can," but Lovestone's eyes waited in ambush for lies, to pull the whole story from me. Before I could answer, Wilson cleared his throat, lit a cigarette, and said, "Grew up on a farm myself. Couldn't get out of there fast enough." He stared right at me, as if seeking recognition. Silence at the table grew. He broke it by looking past me, out the reflecting windows to the Swan River, where navigation lights burned their nighttime warnings. "Don't let him fool you," Lovestone said. "It was a hobby farm. His father was police commissioner." "Fuck off," Wilson said, and stood to leave, exhaling a cloud of impatience at Lovestone's reclined pose. "Your turn to pay." Lovestone grinned at me. "They give you expenses?" I reached for my wallet. "I haven't got a story yet." Wilson muttered, walked out to the Ford. Lovestone knocked back the dregs of his tea and rapped the mug on the table, inhaling slowly, gathering a lesson for the initiate. "Can never please you, journos. When it's too bloody, you look away. When it's not bloody enough, you complain." He leaned in, holding his stare. "You're the one who picked a weeknight, and you didn't answer my question. You going back for harvest?" "No," I said, unable to bullshit. "I'm too busy." "Shit excuse," Lovestone said, and signalled the girl at the till to ring up the bill. "You're all right, mate. Come out with us again next week. We might have better luck." The detectives were good enough to drop me at my flat in Scarborough. Lovestone whistled at the coastal digs, said, "Not bad for a hack," shook my hand hard, and then flicked a cigarette butt as the Ford guzzled away down the road. 2 floors up, my place opened empty and sparse, cluttered with packing boxes and drifts of books with cracked spines. I took a beer from the fridge and stared at a photo stuck by a magnet between a power bill and a real estate calendar marked with X's till the blank October 31st. There was Mum and Dad in the middle, Albert at the old man's right hand, me at her left, smiling in the home paddock. A dull ache sat like tetanus in my neck. So I took a swig from the bottle and slumped onto the couch where I reclined in another memory. My brother's funeral, the last time I'd been home. Right in the middle of the wake at the pub, a lightning storm blinked mutely on the horizon, sending rolls of thunder through the corrugated roof to cut the power. A quick thrill, a magic trick, electricity cutting electricity. Everyone drank in the dark, till Dad tapped me on the shoulder and led me out under the cloud-steeped sky to where his ute was parked. "Back her in," he ordered, his hands and voice shaking. "You remember how to do this?" I cranked the door and slammed myself inside the old Toyota. A cracked windshield, a tape deck stuck on 6PR torque, and sinus-bending dust on every surface. The engine turned over and breathed through a smear of insects covering the radiator grill. Steering reverse, left became right, and the big metal tray swung over to Dad's waving arms, back and back and back, till he held up a slow surrender. "Go get a lead from the kitchen," he rasped, and hauled him.